Hi everyone, congrats to all of y'all lucky enough to visit the Parktown Residence show flat over the launch weekend. The indicative starting price looks really attractive, but what can we expect in terms of average pricing on booking day? Well, let's look at a few recent new launches to see what we can learn. Why does the difference between the indicative starting price and the average launch price really matter? Well, because it directly impacts your budget and cash flow. You need to plan carefully to ensure you can comfortably afford your unit. Otherwise, you risk having to abort the transaction and forfeit your booking fee. In these recent 6 launches, 38 buyers had to walk away, each of them losing on average $28,000. So don't let that be you. Watch till the end to learn how you should realistically budget to afford the unit you want at Parktown Residence. When the Fed started cutting interest rates in September 2023, Singapore new launch market came alive, and Norwood Grand was the first to reap the rewards. The indicative starting price for a 3-bedroom unit was 1,942 PSF, but demand surged, and the result? A stunning 84% sold at launch with an average price of 2,067 per square foot. That success ignited a launch frenzy in November 2024, featuring hot names like Chuan Park, Emerald of Katong, and Nava Grove. How did these launches perform? Stay tuned as we dive into the details. Chuan Park was the first to open the floodgates on 31st October. Their 3-bedroom indicative starting PSF was 2350, but they managed to sell 76% of their units during launch at an average PSF of 2,579. The very next day, on 1st November, Emerald of Katong opened their show flat to the public. Their 3-bedroom indicative starting price was 2,434 per square foot, but they managed to achieve a stunning result, selling 99% of their 846 units in 2 days at an average per square foot of 2,627. Strangely, there was no mention in the Straits Times until almost a month later in mid-December in a general article about new launches, rather than an article devoted to what turned out to be the hottest new launch of 2024. Nava Grove then launched the following day on 2nd November, and despite so much demand being sucked up by Chuan Park and Emerald of Katong, Nava Grove performed really well and sold 65% of their units at an average launch price of 2,448 compared to their indicative starting price of 2,310 per square foot. After the frenzy in November, the holiday month of December was relatively quiet, but in early Jan, there was another blockbuster launch. The Ori sold 86% of their 777 units at an average per square foot of 2,704, compared to the indicative starting per square foot of 2,459 for a 3-bedder. Bagnall House also launched during the same time as the Ori, and they achieved a strong result, selling 63% of their units at an average launch price of 2,490 per square foot. This was compared to the indicative starting price of 2,353 per square foot for a 3-bedroom unit. So let's summarize the result of these 6 launches. The actual launch prices ranged between 5 to 10% higher than the indicative starting price. If we take the average of these 6 launches, the actual launch prices were about 7.6% higher than indicative starting prices. So Parktown Residence published their indicative starting prices last week, with 1-bed starting from 1.07 million, 2 and 3-bed from 1.33 and 2.07 million respectively, and the larger sizes of 4 and 5-bed from 2.85 and 3.78 million respectively. So if we add the average price difference of 7.6% from the 6 recent new launches which we saw earlier, my guess is that average prices would be closer to 1.15 million for a 1-bed, 1.43 and 2.23 million for the 2 and 3-bed respectively, and for the 4 and 5-bed average prices could be at the 3 million and 4 million range respectively. The above is just a rough guide to help you budget based on each unit type, but each buyer's situation is unique. Buying a new launch on booking day is an exciting yet high-stakes decision, so you don't want to miscalculate and regret it later. Please make sure you're fully prepared. You can call me on 9758-5571 and let's secure the right unit within your budget together.